What's up, guys? Wanted to make a quick video to just go over something that I got an email on today. So one thing that really I was told a long time ago, and it's something that stuck with me for a long time, is a setback is only as detrimental as the amount of time you let it last, right? So the amount of time it keeps you down is the amount of time that it's a bad thing that happened, right? So one of the things, especially with what I do for work, is I see a lot of people who, especially when they first start something, or they really, get into something. It's the same thing, and the same with all of us, right? When we first start something new and we start seeing results, we really start getting, excited, and we see what we can accomplish, and we see the road ahead, and it's exciting, and it's new, and it's fresh, and over a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, however long it takes you, typically a lot of things will lose that sparkle, right? So as you get doing things longer and longer, they lose that sparkle, and you kind of wave off a little bit, and you veer off the path, and you make mistakes, and you're not quite as gung-ho as you used to be. And I find this a lot with people in the gym is, the first little bit, they're really, really good, and then, they start slipping back into this self-sabotaging behavior where they really just don't understand that they deserve results, and that they're worth the investment, and they're worth the time, and they know that the path to success involves planning ahead, it involves preparing, it involves being in the right state of mind, it involves focusing on the things you can control and not worrying about the things that you can't, and all this type of stuff, right? Like, that's what builds a successful program of whatever it is you're doing, right? So if you want to be successful at something, typically, if you can focus on the positive, find ways to improve, plan ahead, and prepare for what's coming and what obstacles you're going to face, most of the time you're going to learn, and you're going to get better, and you're going to improve. And what happens that I find with a lot of people is when they have a setback, they really have two options at that point. Is they can really fall back into kind of their old way of life, their old habits. Hey, I went out on this limb and I tried something new, and you know what? I failed. Screw it. I'm just going to go back to what I know and what's safe. And ultimately, if you have that mentality, then realistically, you're never going to go anywhere in your life. And I'm sorry to tell you that, but it doesn't matter whether it's your diet, whether it's your job, whether it's your relationship. If as soon as you mess up, or you fail, or you don't do something the way that it's supposed to be done, if you let that control you and you don't get back up from that and you just quit after that, then yes, then the setback is extremely detrimental. And it is something that you won't ever recover from because you don't get back up. But ultimately, if you look yourself in the mirror and say, okay, this is where I screwed up. This is where I have the opportunity to get better. This is where I have the opportunity to improve. And you get excited about that, and you find out what you can do moving forward to fix what you messed up, then ultimately you didn't fail. You just learned, right? And so many people think that failure is, if I don't do something the right way, if it doesn't work the way that I thought it was going to, that you failed. And ultimately, no, you only failed if then you stopped trying to accomplish whatever it is you were trying to accomplish. So what I wanted to, really talk to you guys about today was, don't, let little things bug you. Don't let things that are already done and over with consume you, because ultimately the longer they consume you, the more time you're going to spend away from your goals. When I have days like on Tuesdays where I meet with clients all day long, and potential clients, and we go over nutrition, we go over membership options, is everybody in the world gonna sign up for your program every single time you talk to them? Absolutely not, right? In a perfect world, that's just not how it works, right? But ultimately, what do we tend to focus on, right? So let's say I have a day, if I meet with 8 people, and 6 of them are really excited about the program, they really have seen the benefits, they really have seen improvements, they're seeing results, and they want to continue on with the program. That's awesome. And ultimately, that's a great thing to see, that there's 6 more people that I have a chance to change their life, right? But what happens with a lot of people is they focus on the 2 that they didn't. And while you are always disappointed with, not getting everything every time, ultimately, what you have to sit back and say is, okay, what areas could I have improved on? What areas did they not see value in? And then how do I change that going forward? And ultimately, that's our learning process, and that's how we get better no matter what it is we do. Same thing in the gym is, if you do a routine and you stick to that routine for 8 weeks, and at the end of 8 weeks, you really didn't see a whole lot of improvement in the place that you wanted to see improvements, well, then ultimately that, okay, well, was it the routine? Was it my diet? What can I change going forward? And this goes in all aspects of life. It really comes down to, do you self-evaluate and take things that might not have gone exactly the way you wanted to, and do you take them and move forward? Or do you dwell on things that you can't control and you let those failures keep you down and make you depressed and negative, and ultimately it stops your positivity and your growth pattern in your life? And that's something that I want you guys to think about going forward as you go into this next week, is really, am I one of those people who, when something goes wrong, I quit? Or am I one of those people who, I'm going to really try to be, a self-evaluator, and I'm going to try to improve on the areas that I know I'm weak at? And ultimately, that's something that I think a lot of people don't get. So I want to just share that with you guys today. Hope you guys like the video. Let me know in the comments below. And as always, see you in the next one.